And we are live for a very special podcast. We're doing NFL mock draft. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Hussein the Brain, and we have back Mike Mattal. What's up, man?
What's up, brother? Glad to be back. I miss this show. I miss podcasting, and most of all, I miss the Couch fam, if you're out there.
Yes, guys, for the podcast, if you're listening, whether it be on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, where else are we on Google Play, all the major podcast outlets, it's always more fun live. We do a live show, so make sure you subscribe to Fantasy Couch Podcast on YouTube. Make sure you hit that bell icon. Great way to support us. Also, of course, make sure you subscribe to the main channel because that's where the dope content is at. We actually have people tuned in. Guess who the first person is?
Hype, non-hype.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Jules.
No, you don't have to keep guessing. Non-hype. He's in the building. He says,
Okay.
"What's up?"
I won already. I won the game.
Yeah, you won. Thomas is in the building. You
Guys, let me know if my audio is not, up to par like last time.
You got like a little. You're worried about it. It's good this time.
Okay, are you sure? I just don't want this to happen again.
It's good. It's obvious you're not like in the same room with it's internet. But it's not sounding crap. It doesn't sound like you're in outer space.
Okay.
Beast gives it a thumbs up. He says it sounds good.
Thank you. Awesome. Love it.
So we're going to do a full first round mock draft, and we have it all written down. We have it formatted. I have my picks. Mike has his picks. And we're not going to talk about every single player if we don't feel like it. It's just going to be like what we want to talk about, what we want to focus on, and want to hear what you guys have to say. I mean, obviously, I think we're going to be talking about Kyler Murray. We're going to be talking
just to be clear, I think we should clarify with the audience that this is not just like a mock draft of fantasy players. This is like an actual NFL mock draft from the college rank.
We know the draft's coming up late April. This is 2019 NFL mock draft. So the picks we think for the first round, yes, real. Because I know, a lot of people, think it's just fantasy. You just want to make sure it's good. Ron is in the building. Matthew's in the building.
What up?
What else are we going to talk about? Niners pick, very important right there.
Let's go.
Raiders pick at number 4. Giants at number 6. Yeah, let's just dive right into it. All right, let me switch it up.
Let's do this. I love how the two Bay Area teams, shout out the Bay Area, have, we're at the top of the draft. So we're going to shape the rest of the draft most likely.
Okay, so they can see it, Mike, and Mike has access to this doc. So like I said, Mike, if you want to highlight something or change something, if need be, we're probably not, but anything you do, we can see on the screen so we can change this live. And we are looking at your guys in the live chat.
Let's go.
I sleep on the couch, so this is natural for me. Exactly.
Totally natural.
I'm a Giants guy. Would love Sweet and Harry in the first round. I like Mike. So, who knows who the Giants are? That's like the most freakish one. So, with the first overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Kyler Murray. And that's unanimous across the board.
Unanimous.
Brain and Mike picks Kyler Murray. And
boring.
So I did a Gronk video. I woke up and Gronk was my favorite tight end, and I really wanted to do that video, Mike. And it's just crazy how
great video.
Thank you. It's just crazy how polarizing the video was, and I feel
really.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of views, but for it not having a lot of views, there's quite a lot of controversy and argument and people hating on it before they watch it. It's just weird. And I just was like, it's not that type of video. Like, I made it clear. Like, if you think Antonio,
like a tribute video,
it's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think Antonio Gates is the best tight end, if you think Tony Gonzalez is the best tight end, I don't care. I'm not even gonna argue. Like, it's not an argue. Like, I had the most fun, like, by far from watching any other tight end. I had watching Gronk.
Same.
It's just doesn't even compare. And the blocking alone is amazing.
Blocking alone, bro.
So it's like,
ahead of everybody.
It's just a great story. And you don't even have to like his personality. But I love that the man is authentic. And
he's not even 30. Like, he's not even going to be playing in his 30s if he stays retired. So that's crazy. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, with only a career not even in his 30s. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's just great. And that's the thing. I was going to do a Kyler Murray video that would have got way more views. I was going to do other videos, but I just said, like, I'm not that into it. Like, I really wanted to do Gronk's video. Like, it was genuinely wanted to do it, even though it would get less views. I was going to do a whole video about Kyler Murray's height and this and that. But, hey, we'll just do it. We're saving it. We're doing it right now for the podcast. So rewind back to... whatever podcast we were doing last.
It was like 2 episodes ago.
I sounded so stupid, like in retrospect, but it's okay. I learned that, like, okay, he's not tall enough. How can he see over the offensive line?
You were hating on him. I was the only one who was like, bro, first pitch.
Yeah, and it was dumb on my part for sure. And you know, I learned from that, and it's okay though, because a lot of people had the same worries. You know, it's not like I was the only voice, and I learned from that, and I did research, and that's all humans can do. We got to learn from that and
keep improving.
You made a good point. You're like, he can see over the whole line now in college.
I mean, he won Heisman, right? Like,
yeah,
it can't be that much different.
And so I did more research, and it's like, okay, so Aaron Rodgers is about 6'2" or 6'2.5". Like, his offensive linemen are still 6'5" plus. So it's like, you know, just knowing physics, you can't really see over the O-line. That's not how it works. You see through the seams, you see, you know, next to their shoulders, and it's just not like that. And then also the statistic that big guys get less injured, or they're more smaller guys are more brittle, actually has no statistic proof whatsoever. I mean, if a big guy falls on his throwing shoulder, like, it's more like the same or even more likely to get injured. Possibly. I'm not going to speculate, but if someone falls on their shoulder, like Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone, like, having more weight and more height, I don't think is going to really correlate with saving your collarbone when a defensive end falls on you. It just doesn't matter. What does matter statistically, though, as far as injuries, is your playing style. For instance, let's go with a couple. Mike, chime in here. Russell Wilson never gets hurt, right? And he's also
very elusive.
He's also mobile. He's just smart. Mike
slides, best slider probably. In the NFL,
he's got like that sixth sense kind of.
Yeah, it's the baseball experience.
They're both baseball players. The comparison is there.
Yeah. So imagine how good his slide is going to be.
Yeah.
He's sliding all over the place.
You know, RG3, Mike Vick, those guys got hurt a lot. But look at their playing styles, for God's sakes. It's totally different.
Look at Jimmy G. Like, he went out the pocket and tried something one time and he got hurt. Like, so it doesn't really matter. Like, if you're not used to doing these type of movements and rolling out, you're going to get hurt.
And if you're putting yourself at harm's way, it sucks. So Kyler Murray, number 1, this is a given, guys. So right now, Josh Rosen, I just made a graphic. I posted it out on social media. Top 3 teams interested. And I love your guys' comments on that. So I went, number 1, Giants. Number 2, Chargers. Number 3, Patriots. And somebody mentioned the Steelers and Raiders. I said Raiders won't do it. Steelers, but somebody mentioned Washington. Now that's interesting, huh? Washington could be a good speculative guy that could get Rosen for like a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Smith, his career's probably over. Who did they sign in the offseason? I forget.
They did sign somebody, but they got Colt McCoy and they signed someone to compete with him. Someone that's I suck at names, but I know it's somebody on the same level as Colt McCoy. So
Josh Johnson, was it Mark Sanchez?
Oh, not Mark Sanchez. No, I was better than Mark Sanchez.
Okay, I don't know.
But it was, but they did sign that Johnson guy towards the end of last year. But they just signed someone off season anyway. Not a clear cut starting quarterback over there for Washington. So the Cardinals probably have to trade away Rosen soon, before the draft, and if they're expecting to draft Kyler Murray, and I think the Giants might go get him.
They should. I think he'd be a great fit. Rosen would be a great fit in New York. I think they're ready for, another intelligent small quarterback like him. I think it was a scheme. He wasn't able to fit in the scheme in Arizona. He didn't have a lot of weapons around him, but he'll have a great running back. And I'm sure they're going to get some wide receiver in the draft as well. They
traded. They didn't sign anyone. They traded for Case Keenum, correct? That's who it was.
Okay, there we go. Case Keenum.
Case
Yes.
Keenum. So,
all right. Huge upgrade. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, yeah, it's like I said, basically the same as what they had.
Yeah.
I think Case Keenum's a decent backup. You can't really put him as a starter. You don't want to.
I think he'd be great on the Chargers as the heir apparent to Phillip Rivers, just because of the whole LA connection. I think that'd be good, and where he can still continue to learn from a future Hall of Famer.
Rosen?
I mean, yeah. I think that is a really good fit, just in terms of easing him into the city and the situation, and grooming him for the future. I think that the Chargers is actually the best fit for him. We'll see what happens.
So we're both going Kyler Murray. We think bro, this is how I got it, dude. Kyler Murray is so far ahead of any other quarterback in this draft. He has that it factor. He has the it factor when it comes to everything, I think. I love his throwing motion. I love how he throws it, how the ball comes off. And then you have, the running factor. He's fast. He's smart. There's just so much I like about Kyler Murray. When I see him, I see a franchise quarterback. Do you think there's risk though? There's got to be in your mind. There's some risk, there's some significant risk with a guy like Kyler Murray, right?
There is, but I mean, he clearly has proved. If you watch the college tape, he was exceptional. He was elite. I mean, it was really Tua Tagovailoa's Heisman to lose, and Kyler Murray just took it from him basically. And the only way he did that was having an exceptional year at Oklahoma. I think he'll follow the footsteps as Baker Mayfield and be successful in his rookie year. He's in a good position to win Rookie of the Year, I think, if he has a decent season, with the Cardinals and improves a record by even 3 games would be a huge, jump for them. So I think that he could easily win the Rookie of the Year next year and be successful right away, as long as he can avoid injury, obviously.
Yeah, I think the risk is that he didn't play against that good defenses. And I think the only good defense he played against was Alabama. Struggled a bit against them. So I think that's really the only risk. Everything else is just amazing. Like I said, that's what we're going with, Kyler Murray. Now, actually,
let's get to the exciting part.
I don't want to speak for you, but my most exciting pick is number 2, 49ers. Do you agree or not? This is the most exciting pick for you.
Which one?
Number 2. Who the Niners are going to
pick.
Of
course. It's our hometown team. I mean, it can go a lot of different ways. We could trade down like we did, the other year when we traded down with the Bears so that we could draft Solomon Thomas and they could grab Trubisky. I could see that scenario unfolding since a lot of the players in the top 5 are, kind of similar. But I have I'm pretty confident with what they're going to do. If they don't do this, I'll be very surprised. I'll just say that.
Yeah. So with the 2nd overall pick, San Francisco 49ers are in a dream scenario. Even if the Cardinals don't pick Kyler Murray, they're still in a dream scenario. That's why it is such a dream scenario. Regardless, you got the top 3 picks, at least the top 3 defensive players in the draft. If I had to bet on who the Niners would pick, I would go with Nick Bosa, but I wanted to go with Quinnen Williams here because Nick Bosa makes the most sense. He's amazing. He'll fit the scheme. Niners seem to be running a 4-3 defense or, something similar to that, more of a 4-3. No one's in their base defense anymore, but I'm going with the best player in the draft, and I really believe that's Quinnen Williams. I believe Quinnen Williams right now is ahead of Aaron Donald as far as where Aaron Donald was in college. I don't remember where Aaron Donald was picked in the draft, but it wasn't high. It was 1st round, but it wasn't as high as it should have been. If we knew, he would have been drafted way earlier. And I just don't want to pass this up right here. We do have the Niners do have 1 pass rusher, but how about 2? And that's when you go, should they get Nick Bosa or Josh Allen? But I'm going best available player. Gotta go Quinnen Williams, man. This guy is an absolute beast. I think he's the best prospect.
Who do you think he plays like in the NFL currently?
Comparing him?
Aaron Donald? Yeah.
Aaron Donald. And it's the reason people don't compare him to Aaron Donald is because they just don't want to sound stupid. It sounds dumb. Aaron Donald.
That's his ceiling, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just comparing. They didn't think Aaron Donald was Aaron Donald when he was coming out of college. Otherwise, he would have went number 1, number 2, maybe number 3. he didn't go there. So right now, he's like Aaron Donald. Yeah, it's unlikely he'll be at that level in the NFL just because we've probably never really seen a player that good. But to say 10-year starter, he can play as good as Aaron Donald possibly. I gotta just go with the best available player and just try to find somebody to pass rush alongside, alongside the pass rushers that the Niners already have. Moving on. Are we done with the Niners?
Well, I was going to say, if I know Lynch, he's going to be trying to make some moves, and I'm pretty sure he's going to try to move down.
From the number 2 spot?
I think so,
oh,
if he can.
Oh, no.
I mean, no, but like...
I even love Josh Allen, though. I think...
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my point, is that the 3 players, I'm talking about Bosa, Allen, and Williams, are so close. Like, why not pick up an extra pick if you can and move down like 1 or 2 spots?
Now, if that's the case, oh, yes. Yeah, I was thinking like you move down a bunch. Yeah, if you move down like the Trubisky, yeah. No,
I move down to 5 or something, or 4.
Yeah. That's a lot to compute there. Yeah, but just moving down a couple spots, that's super smart. And I'm stuck with Josh Allen. Like, okay, I'll live with that. Like, or I'm stuck with
Devin White. Like all those guys. You know what I mean?
I don't want Devin. I want one of those 3. Well, I feel like don't pass that.
I'm just saying, but it's like if you can get like another late first or like an early second, just to move down and still get a top 5 defensive player, like why not?
Like you never know. I mean, Gruden's meeting up with Haskins and Kyler Murray, so
anything can happen. Lynch likes to shake things up. He's definitely not someone that would just stands pat. In my opinion.
Let's face it, if the Cardinals don't draft Kyler Murray, that's a huge someone might call the Niners right then and there, like, hey, can we move up to the number 2 spot to draft Kyler Murray? And it's like, yep, you might wanna consider that.
Yeah, I think so.
So
you have to.
What do we got? Number 3 overall pick, New York Jets select. I got Nick Bosa. You got Josh Allen. You just went with an edge rusher. This pick's very interesting though. Number 4 right here. Yeah, well, anything can happen here. It's so something. We're already gonna see at least one big surprise by this time in the real NFL draft. So. Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen. You're going with Quinnen Williams here. I'm going with Josh Allen. Quinnen Williams is the one on everyone's mock draft. It's it's the one that makes sense. And if Quinnen Williams is available at number 4. You freaking better take him, dude. Like
it's available at this point for the Raiders.
It's insane. Yeah, you get a guy who's being compared to Aaron Donald right there. Yeah, dude, if you guys haven't seen Quinnen Williams play, I've seen some film on him, and he's absolute beast. Double teamed on every single play, and he looks like Aaron Donald. He's beating double teams. It's insane. So if you compare that, he's all defensive ends need help. Oh, Ron's you're a huge Ed Oliver fan. Oliver's gonna be a steal. Yeah, we'll get to Oliver. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Raiders got so much firepower. We don't know. So many assets. We don't know what's gonna happen. Number 5, Tampa Bay Buccaneers select linebacker Devin White.
They have a need at linebacker after we took their linebacker.
This is the one pick that's like unanimous on everyone's mock draft.
Because they lost Quan.
There's nobody who picked anything different. Like all 10 mock
We're too scared.
Yeah.
They want to be that guy, the contrarian.
They don't want to be too contrarian.
This is where it gets interesting.
It's just getting now. We're probably gonna by this point we'll probably see 2 big surprises with the number 6 overall pick. I believe the New York Giants select defensive tackle Ed Oliver.
Why?
Mike, you're going with the boring quarterback.
Why? Dwayne Haskins. Boring. I think the Giants, they obviously have to address the quarterback situation, right?
Yes.
And I think that you gotta go the opposite of Eli, and the opposite of Eli, in my opinion, is Dwayne Haskins. So I think they just got to shake things up, man, and they got to usher in the new era before it's too late. They already did with getting rid of OBJ. That was a huge, we're moving on from this past era. The last thing standing is Eli. He's the only thing stopping them from moving on. So this is how you fast track that?
The Giants are obviously getting a quarterback. They'll get Rosen, or I have him taking a quarterback later. I have a lot of quarterbacks I like, but like I said, I think it's tier 1, Kyler Murray, and then you go to tier 2. If you want to put Haskins alone there, I don't. I'm gonna put Haskins there. You know, he's the second best quarterback, but I think there's a big difference between Kyler Murray and Haskins, and I would just wait and get a quarterback later.
Why do you say that? You don't like Haskins' size, his arm strength?
He has a size. When I watch film on him, I just don't like it. Like, it just doesn't stand out to me.
But he has all the prototypical tools you wanted from Murray, though, that you originally wanted. He has them all.
Yeah, that's when I was stupid. That's a stupid me talking.
So now he likes small quarterbacks.
No, I wasn't like when we did that podcast, I said in the podcast too, it's like, look, we weren't going to talk about Kyler Murray. I don't know anything about this draft class yet because we're still in 2018 mode. And I was like, look, I'm more, you know, I brought up all the like generic stuff that everyone else was asking, and I had to do my research. But it was an interesting topic. Felt like we had to talk about it, and it was. So I was like, is he brittle? Is he going to get hurt? Blah, blah, blah. But then I watched him. The first time I seen Dwayne Haskins, I was like, I don't know. I mean, dude's good, but he's not great. And then I just watched him more and more and more, and I kept seeing the same thing. Like, he's okay. He deserves to be drafted in the first round, but I'd draft him later. I would not draft him early.
You think he's better than Darnold?
Oh, Darnold?
Who would you rather have?
Probably Darnold.
Okay.
That's tough, though. That's close, yeah. Like, Rosen, though, you know I hate Rosen, so.
Yeah.
I'd rather have.
I think Haskins will surprise. I think he might be like a Deshaun Watson, but poor man's Deshaun Watson.
Slowest 40 time out of all quarterbacks, by the way.
Yeah, but
it's like 5 seconds. Well, you just compared him to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, well, Deshaun Watson, I mean, he's an
athlete. He's an athlete.
Yeah.
He's fast. What are you talking about? Haskins.
I don't know. I think he's similar. Similar, like, their build and, like, their game.
No, totally disagree. Haskins he's good, yeah, but he's not that fast. Like, he can get yards.
Well, you don't want to be running around.
No,
like, you want to develop as a pocket passer, ideally, and throw the ball around, which
anyway,
is a huge arm.
Look, it's cool. You pick Haskins there. It's not a whack pick on your part. I don't think they'll pick Haskins. They'll definitely get a quarterback somehow. I just don't see them getting Haskins super early in the first round. That's what I think. So I think they'll go different direction with quarterback. Hazel says Giants grab Rosen with the 37th pick. Next year's class has some solid. Does that make sense? I don't understand.
I don't know. No, he's saying they're going to trade into the first round, the end of the first round, or the late first round, and then get Rosen. A lot of people are predicting that.
Sends the wrong message to Eli. Why do they don't care about that?
What? I hope they are sending the message to Eli.
Yeah, what do you mean, dog? He's 38. He's 38 and has been playing amazing the past couple of years. Like, the guy has just been so good the last. Dude, it's over. It's done. Stop. The era is ended. OBJ's out. I mean, it's a time, you know. It's
time to hand the ball off.
It's different. Yeah, it's gonna be a different quarterback in about a year. The number 7th overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select. I got him. Look at my sexy picks. Look at these. Oh, look at these.
Do you think it's possible though that Metcalf goes to the Giants since they need a receiver now?
No,
that might be.
I think it's smarter to get a quarterback there. I don't see. I got DK Metcalf going number 7 to the Giants.
Well, you only have a 1 pick later. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, but it's a whole different team, though. This is a team that just signed a huge contract with a quarterback and Nick Foles. Okay. Totally different team, you know. I'm trying to think from the team's perspective.
Yeah, but the Giants need a receiver.
No, I'm not saying it's not. Like, it's. I just see them going someplace else. It's not like totally out the question. I do see them before getting Metcalf. I see them getting a quarterback, and before getting a quarterback, I see them trading out. Like, I see a bunch of other scenarios. Okay. It would be a bit of a surprise if they got Metcalf there. I feel like there's a lot of other players. Metcalf is he's not like an all-around number one wide receiver. But there's been a lot of wide receivers that have been drafted before number 7 or even number 6, if you want to put it, that have sucked. And at least you know what you're getting with Metcalf. You're getting a fast guy, vertical guy, guy's going to run vertical routes, huge, athletic, and a guy with tremendous upside. I think you know what you're getting right there. You know you have to pair him with another receiver. He's not Antonio Brown. He's totally different. I think this is a sexy pick. You go all out for it. Give Nick Foles some targets. Think about how fun this team got all of a sudden with this pick at number 7. Who do you got? Number 7, Jacksonville Jaguars.
I got Montez Sweat, the edge rusher from Mississippi State. I just think the Jaguars are built around their defense. They've always been that way. They've typically drafted a lot of defensive ends in the first round. Who was the one? Tyson Luau from UCLA a couple years back. They're a defensive team first and foremost, so I just think that's who they're going to target with this first round pick.
Montez Sweat, 6'6", 260 pounds, 35-inch arms, 40-yard dash, 4.41 seconds. My God,
fast edge rusher.
Yeah, he
athlete,
had a great combine. Both those picks, I like that pick there for you. I like my pick though too. Number 8, Detroit Lions. I got Montez Sweat. I just put that there. I figured.
So this is, I think this made a lot of sense to me because Gary went to Michigan, which is, Detroit. So I think you have done a lot of homework on him, and he was actually he's the number 1 rated recruit when he was in high school. He's got great coaching with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. So I think this pick makes a lot of sense, for everyone.
Oh, this guy has a better comparison than Deshaun Watson. Hazelnut says Haskins is Brian Leftwich.
Oh, come on.
That's so stupid. I love it, though. I love this comparison.
That's silly.
Limber, my ideal scenario for the 49ers is trading down and getting Montez Sweat. Hey,
Whoa.
That's not horrible.
That's not horrible.
Because when you trade down that far, you're going to probably get a lot of assets.
Oh, yeah. You have to move because, there's a trade chart with the assets that you need to move up that high. And it takes a lot to move up.
Oh, kind of like what would push the meat, what would push the meter to where we would take this? It's
a value chart basically that all the GMs go by. So in order to move from let's say 9 to 2, it would take a lot of assets, a lot of picks. And
we trust that Kyler Shanahan and Lynch would know what to do with those assets and be prepared. Yeah. That's not a bad deal. I couldn't pass
trade down. We should trade down. The value is there, man, this year. Because it's too close between those defensive guys at the top. Even if we got Rashawn Gary, it would be good. You know what I mean? So it's the talent drop-off isn't that big on the defensive ends.
Okay. Number 9, Buffalo Bills select. I have Rashawn Gary, and Mike has Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver, very good, very talented. This is a little bit of a risky guy, super risky guy here, but he's undersized.
The upside's there.
He's just to me, it's a sexy pick. Just pick him, figure out what to do with them. Maybe he could be a bust. Maybe he could be almost invent a new position. He could be
value's there though. Just at number 9, that's where it's good value for a guy like him.
Yeah, I did. Where'd I have him? Number 6?
Yeah,
bit early. Bit early.
A little early.
Yeah. He definitely could fall out the top 10.
Uh-huh.
Now we got number 10 pick. I got tight end TJ Hockenson. And Mike has a lot of quarterbacks. Drew Lock.
We know that Elway's still on the hunt for the quarterback of the future.
Broncos are definitely getting a quarterback. I feel like they're going to do something else. They're going to get one later on, but definitely wouldn't be surprised one bit if they just get a quarterback here, especially if the quarterback they like falls here. They're going to get him. They might even move up. Who knows? They're definitely drafting a quarterback. Joe Flacco, has his name been synonymous with bridge quarterbacks? Why isn't Joe Flacco being called a bridge quarterback? I don't.
He is by everyone except, Elway.
Okay, because that's a bridge quarterback. My God.
Yeah.
I mean, he might start this year, may even start another year but I don't see that going beyond that. Like, that's it. He's okay. He's not good. And he's
as soon as he struggles, as soon as he loses 2 games back to back, everyone's gonna be calling for it.
Yeah, it's gonna change what's going on there. Yeah, but this team hasn't had a tight end since Peyton Manning was throwing touchdowns to Orange Julius. This team really hasn't had a tight end, and I like Hockenson here because he's a great blocker, because he's so reliable. This is just a tight end that's more of a can't-miss tight end. There's no such thing as can't-miss. But as far as, being able to call someone can't-miss, I think that's TJ Hockenson. Easy pick right there. But, yeah, quarterback, they definitely need that.
Are we going to go through the whole thing, or should we just go through, like, some interesting things we predict in the round?
I think I'm doing a good job. We already skipped 2, if you noticed, basically.
Oh, okay. All right. So
this one's a nice skip. Number 11, Cincinnati Bengals. Surprise, surprise. We both have Devin Bush. No need to waste brain power on that.
Good.
Number 12, Green Bay Packers. I got tight end Noah Fant.
So we both think they're gonna go tight end.
It was weird. I honestly tried to pick another player, and it just kept going back to tight end. And my first tight end was already picked. So
yeah,
I mean that was that. Like Jimmy Graham, he's still there. He's still gonna play. Mercedes Lewis, I believe, still gonna play. But you need they have to go with receiver here. So tight end is essentially a receiver. Like they just have to. They need receivers, and
they would be happy with Hockenson here at number 12 as the number.
He's the better tight end.
Yeah. Exactly.
Noah Fant, guys, he's a mismatch. He's really athletic. He's really good. An amazing receiver, average blocker. So any tight end, any of those 2 tight ends here would be amazing.
Yeah, I think so.
Moving on. Miami Dolphins. Is this the team that needs a quarterback the most?
I would say so.
But
I would say so. Who do they have now?
They
got rid of Tannehill, right? So Tannehill is now on the Titans.
Wait, where's Fitzpatrick? Where's Fitzpatrick?
Oh, yeah, they got Fitzpatrick. Fitzmagic. So that is a bridge quarterback.
Dude, a few weeks ago, I Googled, who's his name? Matt Moore or whoever. I was like,
yeah.
And I guess he's retired. He's doing some other venture right now, like a weird, one of those weird retirement stories.
They should give Cap at least a tryout. I think this would be.
I got into a huge argument with a kid about Kaepernick, and I was like, I just stopped. I was like, social media is so stupid.
You just gotta bite your tongue.
Yeah, he didn't understand that Kaepernick was better than Nathan Peterman and Blake Bortles. I tried to use the most obvious. I was like, you really think Kaepernick is worse than Nathan Peterman and Blake Bortles? He's like, I know they have a job, and when you have a job, and
wow, that kid.
And then I started arguing. I suspect he's a kid. I don't know for sure, but I suspect you could tell it's a kid. And I was like, I have to stop. I have to focus on other things because I don't even a lot of people ask for my opinion. Consider my opinion. They want to know my opinion on football. So a lot of people ask me about Cap, and I tell them, look, Cap's not that good. That's my honest opinion. I think he's a top 30 type of quarterback, maybe not top 25. That means he's start worthy on some teams, not most. But I was like, he's definitely better than a lot of these backup quarterbacks. That's for sure. That's what top 30 means. That means he's startable or at least a very good backup. So. Yeah, they could have got that, but if they don't go Kaepernick and Dwayne Haskins is available at number 13, I got the Miami Dolphins selecting Dwayne Haskins, man. You got to give me props. Give me one time. He probably won't fall there, huh?
I don't know. I mean, anything's possible. Yeah. It's very fluid. They can move up. They can move down and get someone else. But yeah, I think that whoever they get, they're going to need someone to protect them. So That's why I think Jawan Taylor is a great fit here from Florida. He was a great blocker, pass blocker, run blocker. It's just a good fit for that team who needs a lot of help on the front line.
Austin says Dolphins ain't tanking. Dolphins aren't tanking. Dolphins are not taking a QB. They're tanking for Tua.
Yeah.
Oh, I got like
QB, bro.
I felt like the meme where I feel like I have like I'm like smart with my brain, and then like this was on the next level. This is way smarter. Like I thought I was smart, and then this guy Austin's like, this is way smarter. Man. Tanking for Tua next year. They already have their bridge, the Fitzpatrick bridge.
Fitzpatrick's just good enough to be like have fans come to the games, but still lose enough games to have a high draft pick. To make it look competitive, but still lose,
Limber asks, Couch, do you think reaching for a QB is that bad? I mean, he's your favorite player and the most important. Oh, well, let's just be clear. We're talking about real NFL. Yeah, you sometimes you kind of have to reach for a quarterback. Quarterback affects unless like they fall to you, like unless you get him some other way. You have to get a good quarterback. Like that's so. The
most important position
by far. Any means necessary. So if that means you have to trade up and get him quote unquote super early or earlier than you want, you got to do it some way. You got to do it. Whether you're like the Patriots and get him with value because you're so smart and so good, or you trade for that quarterback. That's why Nick Foles just got 88 mil or whatever. That's why Case Keenum got a contract last year. That's why it's important, guys. Like you got to do it. Like you got to get your quarterback. So already with my mock draft, I'd say my flaw already, Dwayne Haskins can easily fall to 13, but for that to happen, there'd probably be one or two teams trading up for a quarterback before number 13, to be realistic. So I didn't do any trades. I don't know if Mike did any trades, but teams will trade up to get a quarterback.
But I just didn't want to like do all the extra work for that.
Same here. And plus I was like, by the time we go live, Josh Rosen might get traded too. So it's like, we basically just wanted to talk about this. Like that's what a mock draft isn't like. It's not like set in stone. It's not like a real fantasy team. We don't have money on this.
You'll never get it right.
Yeah, and you'll never get it right. There will always be surprises on draft day, and that's what makes it so freaking cool. I always refer back to that Tunsil situation where that video leaked.
Oh yeah, that was great. Or what about the Johnny football situation where he fell to the Browns? And they had to draft him, and then look what happened.
Yeah, so I heard nobody in the Browns wanted to draft Manziel, but the owner made them do that.
Yeah,
according to my sources, the owner's like, we're drafting Manziel.
Look at the money Sarny does.
And all the fans went berserk, yeah.
And it worked for a day. Till he landed.
Limber says that's why Haskins is definitely 6 for me. Look, the Giants are taking a quarterback. I just don't think it's Haskins at 6. I think Haskins is.
Haskins.
I think
everyone knows.
I think Haskins is a bit overrated. I don't think he's as good. I think those other quarterbacks are close to him. Daniel Jones, Greer.
Fan base is gonna go insane if they pass on a quarterback at 6. That's all I know. They're gonna be very loud. Isn't the draft in New York? They're gonna be booing whoever it is off stage. I promise you that.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, Eli, he's had a good career. He's had some good stories.
It's time.
Anyway, number 13, I got Dwayne Haskins going to the Dolphins. Mike has offensive tackle Jawan Taylor.
Yes,
With the number 14th pick, the Falcons select defensive tackle Christian Wilkins. That's who I got from Clemson. Mike, you have offensive tackle Jonah Williams.
I think he's just the best available offensive lineman at this point.
Falcons could go best available right there for sure. Yeah. That's pretty much what I did. Number 15, Washington is going with quarterback Drew Lock. I got.
Wow. It's a fall, I feel like, for him. If he makes it to 15. That's
because of the position, yeah. Because of quarterbacks. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, that's my flaw with my mock draft already is teams will be trading up to get a quarterback way before 13.
That's a good fit, though. If they do end up with him, that's a great fit.
Gosh,
For
they
both.
need a quarterback. If they don't go Rosen, they're definitely drafting a quarterback in
I
the
don't think
early
they're going.
rounds.
And I just don't think they're gonna pull the trigger on that
Oh,
for
they
whatever
may
reason.
not, but they're drafting one in the first 3 rounds, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who they're gonna go with. I have no clue. But I said, hey, they're getting a
I just have a
quarterback.
weird feeling that he's gonna end up on the Chargers. I just have a weird.
Drew Lock.
No.
Oh, Rosen. Oh, Rosen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, he
there's just too many
definitely could.
times.
And you have. I don't think he'll fall this much, dude. With number 15 overall pick, Mike's mock draft has DK Metcalf. Number 15. You really think he'll fall this much?
I think so. I mean, it's possible, or they can trade up. But I just think if he does fall, like the Redskins is a perfect fit for him in that situation. Just a lot of opportunity for him. I mean, they're still waiting on Josh Doctson. He's still, they're still on the fence about him. They lost Terrell Pryor. No one's really been doing anything for them. Jordan Reed has pretty much fell off as the number 1 receiver out there. So
DK Metcalf falling to 15. You have to admit, though, is a bit of a surprise. It's a fall. It's a fall.
it's a fall, but
Okay.
I think Drew Lock falling 15 is a fall as well. So.
No, people fall. Yeah. I just want you to acknowledge that that's a fall, because that's what I said. Like DK Metcalf, yeah, he's not the all-around complete receiver, ideal number 1 wide receiver, but you know exactly what you're getting with him, and I think that's a lot. And I think defenses will have to focus.
But I think rookie receivers in general are very hit and miss. They rarely are rookie wide receivers good in their first year or make a huge impact. So, I mean, I don't know if teams are willing to invest high picks in something that might not pan out for 2 or 3 years.
I think they are. DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf memes. Let them commence.
Look at Amari Cooper. Look what happened to him. He got passed on to the Cowboys. He almost was a bust if he didn't get traded to the Cowboys. It's all about situations too.
Let's settle. Hazelnut's typing a lot of stuff. I'm not going to read it, but he sparked something right here. So let's just settle this right now. Rosen or Haskins? Which one would you rather have?
Me?
Or which one do you think's better? Yeah, who's better? Haskins?
Right now or long term? I think long term, the Rosen will have a longer career. I think short term, Haskins is going to be more exciting off the bat and win you games. But I think if you have him in the right situation, have him learn under a Phillip Rivers or a Tom Brady, I think Rosen can have a great career in the right situation.
So, because Hazel's saying basically Giants should get Rosen, and if you can get him for a 3rd round pick, then you really don't need to draft a quarterback at 6 per se, or Haskins.
Why not get both of them? Why not have the position covered?
Because I'm a Haskins hater. I think he's okay. I just think he's not as good as people think. So I
think people who don't have a good quarterback situation should try to hit as many times as you can. Make sure you can, you have it covered. Like, look at the Redskins did. They drafted RG3, and in the same draft, they drafted Cousins for simply that reason, just in case. They knew that one of them was going to be good, or at least one.
They actually made some good moves. It's just like they're just doomed. So it's almost like bad luck.
Who, the Redskins?
Yeah, I mean, that was some drafting RG3, drafting Kirk Cousins, they hit. Yeah, it made sense and it was smart, but they don't got none of them.
They're probably like, what?
They got none of them now, though. That's what I mean. It's so unlucky.
Well, that's their fault.
No Super Bowl. They don't have either one of those guys.
They'll never win as long as Dan Snyder is the coach and they have the bad juju of their team name. Yeah, I think that will always haunt them.
That's what I meant to say. They're doomed.
They're doomed. That's what you get, man.
Okay. Number 16, Carolina Panthers. I got him selecting offensive tackle Jawan Taylor. And you have him selecting another offensive tackle, Cody Ford. Is this?
They need more people on the line to protect Cam, to open up holes for a run DM or C-Mac.
Is this team falling apart, or is it just me?
Oh, it's falling apart.
Okay,
for sure.
I mean, they'll still be able to do some things, maybe, but it's unrattling.
They have a chance, but yeah,
I might draft DJ Moore in fantasy. I like that pick.
I don't know. I just don't trust Cam's accuracy and the ability to have someone be a a consistent wide receiver on that team besides like
There's only one wide receiver other than C-Mac.
Yeah, there's only one. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go all in on C-Mac again.
He'll be good, but that's why I like DJ Moore. If I can get him later, I think that might be a good value pick. He's a good player, dude.
He's talented. He was a first rounder, right?
Yeah,
last year.
First rounder. Yeah. Him and Calvin Ridley both good. That I think bit of a surprise that Calvin Ridley went after DJ Moore. There's a lot of people had Calvin Ridley ahead of DJ Moore.
Really interesting.
Yeah, but those two are both really good. Yeah. Number 17, New York Giants. I got him selecting quarterback Daniel Jones.
Whoa.
And you got him selecting defensive end. What's this guy's name?
Clelin Ferrell. Colin Farrell.
Clelin Ferrell.
Clelin Ferrell. Yeah. Well, that's a good pick. If you really think Daniel Jones is that good to be drafted that high?
I just don't think there's a big difference between Greer, Daniel Jones, Haskins. You know, I have Haskins more closer to those guys, and I have Kyler Murray like way up on his.
But there's no quarterback that was good that ever came from Duke, so that's kind of risky in my opinion. But
yeah, they play football there too, apparently.
Trubisky was from North Carolina, and he's okay. So I guess
I don't. Oh man, I feel like don't get me on Trubisky. So,
but I like Trubisky. He was great in fantasy. I mean,
he's up and down, and he's not bad. But I just feel like if they had a better quarterback, that team would just be on fire.
No, it's if they had a better kicker, they would have won.
If they had an average kicker, yes, they would have advanced.
He did his part. Trubisky did his part.
Yeah. No, that wasn't that one game. I think Trubisky's like he's an average. He's like an average.
They should have won though. We can both agree.
Of course, yes, it's the kickers. I'm not talking about that specific game though. Yeah. Parkey did have some more upright issues before that game though too.
He's improving though. I like Trubisky's trajectory.
He's still young. Like he's not. Yeah, it's not writing him off. Yeah, he's still young and he's not whack. Like I said, he's average, which I think that's kind of a compliment for such a young quarterback to be average compared to all the other quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's not Blake Bortles, you know. So
Cody Parkey haters. Okay, that's literally 100% of people.
That's everybody.
That's everybody.
Is there any supporters?
Where's the Cody Parkey lovers club? Like where's that at? What's your guys' profile pic? You guys' profile pic is just like an upright, like that's it, and everyone's like, "What is that?" Oh, I zoom. Oh, I see. It's an upright.
It's his cousin. It's his cousin Jerry from Westchester. Yeah. So
with the number 18th pick, Minnesota Vikings select offensive Andre Dillard. That's who I got. Mike.
Okay. I got Brian Burns, edge rusher from Florida State. I just think Vikings, you know, they're another team that has a defensive identity like the Jaguars do. So they're always looking to add more defensive linemen.
Number 19, Tennessee Titans. I got wide receiver Marquise Brown. This is Antonio Brown's cousin, correct?
Oh, yes. I believe so. Hollywood Brown, right?
And you got?
And I got another wide receiver, A.J. Brown from Ole Miss.
Are
you sure that this isn't his brother?
Wait. I'm pretty sure it's Marquise Brown. Oh, crap. I just saw another one. I didn't even think of that. I'm pretty sure. Marquise Brown. Right. Yeah, Marquise Brown learning from cousin. Yeah, it says.
Because he went to the bigger school. Even though Ole Miss is a big school, but Oklahoma was slightly bigger.
Brown is teeny tiny. Great description, guys. We're talking about three guys named Brown. Don't know which one it is.
Yeah. Well, AJ Brown's bigger.
Roger says, love AJ Brown. Dude is a beast. I like Greedy. Yeah, Greedy Williams. Yeah, he's coming up soon. Why do we think they're drafting a wide receiver here? Why are we so confident in that?
I mean, who do they have? Corey Davis? I feel like they could definitely, add another guy to that mix.
Delaney Walker's towards the end of his career. Let's just say this is the end.
I mean, who are they throwing to? Like last year I drafted Corey Davis because I thought that would be good because he's the only option, but I don't know. They just can't get him the ball.
Corey Davis is a poor man's Amari Cooper.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, sure. But they need more weapons, basically. So either of these guys would be a huge boost on that offense. It could easily be the number 1 or number 2 starter by opening day.
Ron says Tawan Taylor is going to be a sleeper. Look, I'm tired of all these sleeper tight ends players. Let's not do it again, guys. Do you guys remember the year where Mariota was a sleeper?
No. Was that?
Oh yeah, everyone's like Mariota's going to be so good. Mariota's going to be and like the third year, I think Mariota's going to be so good.
No, but the second year it was like everyone was on the bandwagon, like he's going to be like just killing it because he had like the rushing stats.
Yeah, never. And there was
fall off so hard.
Same thing with other than Delaney Walker, same thing with the wide receivers. You never know with that team. Like I'm not messing with the team that I can't really trust like that. I'm not drafting Tawan Taylor. I'm not doing it. So we think with the 19th overall pick, the Titans are selecting a wide receiver. I got Marquise. Mike has AJ.
Yeah.
A lot of Browns. And number 20, Pittsburgh Steelers. I got him selecting first cornerback, I think, off the board for me, I believe, is Greedy Williams. And Mike, you got?
I got Byron Murphy. So either way, they're going to get a top cornerback here, an elite cornerback. So that's where they're probably going to go.
Yeah, if the draft's going how we kind of predict, and the Steelers' favorite cornerback is sitting there at number 20, you got to go with him. That's good value to get whoever you think's the best cornerback there.
Byron Murphy's the top-rated cornerback on everyone's board, but
some people got Greedy. Yeah, some people do have.
It's close though.
It's
not that far.
There's a lot of I think the top 5 are pretty good, top 5 cornerbacks, but not worth like a top 10 pick or anything.
No, but they're solid. Like they'll be starters for like 5 years at least, something like that.
With the 21st overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks select wide receiver Hakeem Butler. And one of us copied the other's homework because we both have Hakeem Butler. It makes a lot of sense. I actually saw you do it.
But they need insurance for Doug Baldwin. I just think he's too injured. Injury prone. They gotta get younger, better receivers. They need help for Russell Wilson. He's struggling back there.
Lockett is amazing, but
tackle right here as well.
Yeah, a lineman.
They need to.
I don't think they'll get a tight end. I think their tight end group was solid, like surprisingly. Will Dissly.
Yeah, they struck gold with Dissly.
Don't need a running back in the first round. No way.
They got 4 of them. They're not gonna do that again.
They got rid of Mike Davis.
Rashad Penny. Yeah, but they drafted Rashad Penny last year.
Yeah, no, they got Penny and Carson. Both are. Well, Carson's amazing, and Penny's still young, so he's got upside.
Both injury prone. Their whole backfield's injury prone. So.
I didn't say I'd say running backs get injured a lot is how I would put it.
Well, their situation has always been like that.
Yeah, I guess Penny is injury prone.
He is.
Yeah, he's been really weird. He's been a really weird running back. He's been injured.
That was a bad draft pick.
He said he was heavy-footed, and now he's feeling good. And then 2 weeks later, Chris Carson totally took off and took the job.
They try to get another Marshawn, that type of back, but you just can't duplicate.
Yeah, it's tough. With the 22nd overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens select wide receiver A.J. Brown. And you have the Baltimore Ravens passing up on a wide receiver, even though they need one so bad.
They can get one later, but, they love defensive backs. And I think that you put Greedy Williams next to Jimmy Smith, and it's going to be lockdown time.
So you got him going with cornerback Greedy Williams right here.
The value at corner right there is really good. Like, you got one of the top 2 corners.
Yeah.
I think you can address the wide receiver later in the draft, but you're not going to get as good a corner.
If a top 2 corner is there, they'll like it. With the number 23 overall pick in the draft, I got the Houston Texans selecting running back Josh Jacobs. First running back off the board. That. Who you got?
I got Andre Dillard from Washington State. I think we all saw Watson running for his life last season. They have to protect him better. They can't afford for him to get hit. I think he was the most hit quarterback last year, if I'm not mistaken. But that can't keep happening if they're going to, be successful.
Look, they're going to get offensive line, and if they don't, it's going to be probably Josh Jacobs. And if Josh Jacobs isn't available there, they're definitely going O-line. Like, who else could you pick other than O-line here? Or maybe Josh Jacobs. Like, who else? Like, you have to go O-line.
I think Jacobs would be great for that offense. Like, Lamar Miller is obviously winding down. He's never been that great in that offense. It would just be, a good young back for Deshaun Watson to feed the ball to back there. Keep defenses honest.
Got new people tuning in. What's up? What's up, Play? Thomas says Texans need offensive line. Raiders take Josh Jacobs. Ooh, where'd you get Josh? You got him coming soon here. Number 24 overall pick. I got the Raiders selecting cornerback Byron Murphy. And you got them.
Noah Fant, Iowa.
Jared Cook's replacement. He was the offense, the entire offense last year. And now you got to replace in who's kind of like Jared Cook, I guess. Like that type of tight is athletic.
He's definitely the second best tight end by far.
Yeah.
So
they're either gonna because I think they need to focus on defense. They definitely need a tight end.
Yes.
But they got 3 wide receivers off season, which is just insane because those 3 are slated to start too. They got.
Who did they get again?
I forgot the third one. Terrell Williams, Antonio Brown. Chat, help us out here.
Yeah.
Did they?
Everyone knows about
Who's
that.
the third one? Was it John Brown?
Who did they lose? They lost Amari Cooper.
Jordy Nelson retired.
So
they didn't really have any. But was it John Brown? Who's the Raiders?
No, they didn't get
third
John
wide
Brown.
receiver.
Hold on, wait. I gotta find it. Let me look at this.
Okay, you guys look it up. I'll go the next one. 25th overall pick, Philadelphia Eagles select cornerback DeAndre Baker. That's who I got. And Mike finally caved into the running back and has Josh Jacobs going to the Eagles at number 25.
Yep, I think that would be a dynamic back for them to draft. Their offense wasn't that great last year. It was, kind of stacked. It regressed, actually, even though Wentz was healthy again, but it just wasn't the same as the year before. And with Foles gone, they're really going to have to rely on their running game. So Josh Jacobs makes a lot of sense for that offense.
So it was J.J. Nelson, a former teammate of
John. On the Cardinals, right? He was on the Cardinals before.
Yeah, but he could possibly start. I guess you have Seth Roberts, Marcel Aitman, and there was a Raider who kind of turned it on towards the end just for a game or two. Yeah. Dwayne Harris is on this team, I think.
Dwayne Harris? I like Dwayne Harris. He's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what's crazy. That's what's crazy, though, is they got 3 wide receivers in the offseason, and all 3 might start. That's completely revamping the team.
Fant would be a great addition, though. Safety valve for Carr, when he's running for his life out there.
Makes that team fun to watch now.
Look what happened with the Niners when we drafted. Who did we get? Who's our
Kittle?
tight end? George Kittle. Yeah, that he's like a future, Pro Bowl Hall of Famer maybe for us. So he has that type of ability. You got to have a young tight end these days that can catch and keep the defenses honest.
Number 27 again. Dang, Raiders just got so many assets.
What about Colts?
Disgusting.
Colts?
Did we?
Yeah, Colts is boring.
Oh, gosh, what a boring pick. Number 26, Colts, I got offensive tackle Jonah Williams. What a crappy pick.
Yeah.
26, you got...
That's a filler pick.
Filler,
right
exactly. What do you got? Who you got, Mike, at 26?
I got Jerry Tillery from Notre Dame, who, they drafted Quentin Nelson as their starting center, who was a great pick from Notre Dame as well. So I think just that familiarity from that school, I think they'll go back to the well and get Jerry Tillery.
At number 27, the Oakland Raiders select defensive end Clelin Ferrell. That's who I got. Mike, you got...
Jeffrey Simmons from Ole Miss. I think they're going to try to... they had a horrible pass rush last year. They need help on that defensive line. So this is just one of those need picks right here. But anything could happen. They could trade down, trade up. Anything could happen with the Raiders.
At this point, we're going to be so far off that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
I got one. I'm back in the game right now. Number 28, Los Angeles Chargers select quarterback Will Grier from West Virginia. That's my pick.
Trade and get Rosen here somehow.
Oh, Rosen's already he's already going to be traded. Unless the Cardinals don't get Kyler Murray, then anything. But if they're getting they're getting Kyler Murray, you got to trade this man now. And you have more than one bidder, so they're trading him. Anyway, you got to remember we're doing audio too. Remember most people listen to the audio version.
Yes.
You got to make sure you say your pick. So number 28, you got.
I got N'Keal Harry from ASU. He's been one of the top wide receivers all season. I think he'd be a great fit on the Chargers offense. He's on the West Coast. You know, it's just a fit thing at this point.
Yeah. I think,
great value, though.
I think we're pretty sure the Chargers are going to get a young quarterback this year.
Yeah.
You know, we just don't know how early it's going to be or if it's going to be Rosen.
We don't know how or when, but they will.
Yeah, it could be a Rosen.
I think it is. I don't know.
Number 29, the Kansas City Chiefs select defensive end Brian Burns. That's who I got.
Well, I mean, if they do get Brian Burns, that's great for them because the Chiefs, I mean, they were horrible on the rush last season, except for D Ford. D Ford was good, but others besides him,
they're worse now. They got rid of.
Yeah, they got worse now. Yeah, they lost D Ford. They were already bad, so Brian Burns makes a lot of sense. I'm putting here DeAndre Baker, but this could also be another defensive lineman here. So.
Yes, that's right, Hazel. I was going to put Rock Ya-Sin just because his name was dope, but I decided to go with other cornerbacks. We could have just put that. He's top 5, right? Ya-Sin? He's top 5 cornerback. He might go first round. Number 30, Green Bay Packers. I wanted to, change it up here. A little surprise for you guys. Wide receiver, Deebo Samuel. I really think they need to go receiver here. Mike, who do you got selecting?
I got just defense. Christian Wilkins from Clemson. Nothing sexy.
The last podcast I did with guys who trains wide receivers and quarterbacks, and surprisingly, he ended up working with Josh Rosen. Revealed that to me after I told him that I hate Josh Rosen. If you didn't listen to that podcast, it's the one right before this one, number 65 or whatever. And he told me about Deebo Samuel. Now, Deebo Samuel's probably going to go in like round 2, probably not round 1, maybe late round 2 even. But I just want to throw a little change up here. And, surprising things do happen. And remember one that was pretty big at the time was when the Giants selected Evan Ingram instead of Njoku, and everyone was like so surprised. It's just one up, like everyone knew OJ Howard was the number 1 tight end, but Evan Ingram was number 3, and it was a big deal, and it doesn't seem like a horrible pick now, or especially after that first year, as Njoku sucked his rookie year, and Ingram was amazing his rookie year. Then it got closer now, year 2. So I think Deebo Samuel is really talented, maybe more of a second round guy, but there could be surprises. And number 31, Los Angeles Rams. We both got the same answer.
Boring.
Nose tackle, Dexter Lawrence. Gosh, it's already like so hard to do this. If you guys haven't done a mock draft, it's hard, all right?
It's very hard.
That's why we quit after round 1.
Yeah, we're like, all right.
That's it. No, we're not going to round 2. No way.
But we both agree the Patriots are trying to get a replacement for Gronk in the first round or maybe in the second, but this would be a good time to grab best available tight end Irv Smith Jr. from Alabama.
I'm pretty much 100% sure we'll be wrong, but
it's
the trick. I mean, it's the pick that makes sense though.
Yeah, on paper.
Yeah, tight end. Yeah, so we got Dexter Lawrence, number 31 to the Rams, and number 32 New England Patriots. We have tight end Irv Smith. It just makes sense, and if
great tight end though.
Yeah, if a good tight end is available there that they like, how do you not get him? Like, it's a no-brainer.
There will never be another Gronk though, so
no
one should get that twisted.
There won't. And you guys stop hating on my last video. It was just a tribute video. Don't get triggered by it. Make sure you give it a watch. Mike recommends it.
I recommend it. Highly recommend it.
All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Hit us up in the chat before we call it quits on this podcast. What are you guys saying in the chats? Hazel says, love Harry, beast of a talent, 27 reps on the bench, big, fast, strong, good head. We have some Harry lovers in the chat. Your 28th overall pick, wide receiver, N'Keal Harry.
Oh yeah, he's good, man. If you watch Pac-12 football, I mean, he's been the best wide receiver.
What about Hakeem Butler? It's a bit of a he goes up and down. Hakeem Butler, we got number 21 to the Seahawks. We both agree. Like, he's really like up and down. Like, he can be like the second.
I like Pac-12 receivers. Like, look at who the Niners drafted last year. Dante
Pettis. Bit of a shock, but he's really good.
Yeah, he's gonna have a big sophomore year, I think. I mean, second season for the Niners. I really believe that.
Yeah, Pats. See, I don't know what Ron's trying to say. I think he wrote a typo. But what happened was the Pats tried to sneak in and get Jared Cook. And Jared Cook made the decision to go with the Saints. And I'm thinking he just went for the best money. Because, I mean, the Saints or Patriots, like, both are great teams. Like, I wouldn't mind going to either. So he probably just took the one that had offered the most money. He got a good deal, too. That's going to be a beastly signing. Jared Cook to the Saints. Drew Brees is so good.
The offense can be scary next season. I'm scared. I'm going heavy on Saints next season for once. I never draft any of them. I'm gonna
go with the Saints. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ron says Chargers already have Tyrod. Tyrod is done. I don't know. I'm not.
Tyrod? Who's talking about Tyrod?
How much? Look up. I don't feel like looking it up, but if you want, look up how much they're paying him. So unless they're invested a ton of money in Tyrod Taylor, I'm not buying the Tyrod Taylor. Rivers hands the reins over to Tyrod Taylor, and the franchise does great. I don't buy that story.
We know who Tyrod Taylor is, as Denny Green would say. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
We thought he was, and he always will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opening day tomorrow. What's your NL Central look like? We don't watch baseball.
Go Giants,
at
though.
all. Yeah, go Giants. I don't hate the A's. Still Bay Area team. Don't got no hate for them.
What are the odds you think that Kyler Murray somehow gets drafted by the Raiders and plays on both on the A's and the Raiders? That'd be the craziest thing ever, I think.
Is this possible?
I mean, highly unlikely, but it's possible.
Wait a second. I mean, what would be more interesting? Wait. Are they playing in the same exact?
Yeah, stadium. Yeah.
So they're. So they're still playing so he doesn't even have to switch stadiums. No, he just plays at the same state. He spends the night over.
Same locker.
He helps him put the plates on.
Oh yeah.
He's all right, just helping out. I mean, be here anyway.
Exactly, man. I think that would be the craziest thing ever if we got to see him play for the Raiders. That'd be crazy. And the A's in the same year. Like, imagine, like, primetime. Do you see that documentary? Like looking back, that was incredible what he did. Like, no one could ever do that again.
Yeah, prime.
Like, so many things had to align for him to play both. Like, it was insane.
Bo Jackson, he didn't play at the same exact time? Is that what?
No.
He kind of played baseball first.
Baseball. Yeah, like, he did baseball, like, as the secondary, and then, like, yeah. Football was always the priority. Like, you can't – the football has to be the priority for anyone doing both. Like, you know.
Yeah, or else you'll die.
Or else you'll die. Yeah.
And we'll end it on that, guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed to both YouTube channels, Fantasy Couch and Fantasy Couch Podcast. You can also catch the audio version of the podcast on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, all the major podcast channels. I'm Hussein the Brain for Mike Mittal, signing off.